Back then, we were only few suppliers from the auto industry who come up with a team on making an electric vehicle approaching on the public transportation, especially on the Egypt sector. So from there, it rolls out, and then we came up lobbying for a law wherein just last year we come up with Republic Act 11697 or EVIDA law. So through the years, we were able to build up and make the market enticed to electric vehicle industry.
So ang tagal din nung ginapang nyo, no?
Yes.
From 2008.
From 2008 onwards, a lot of senators who were able to provide for a bill. It is only through Senator Sherwin Gatchalian's existence or help that we were able to pull through together with the Congress or the lower house, supported by Congressman Velasco.
Yung the EVAP has been of course you're of course benefiting a lot of motorists out there by bringing in the EVIDA law. I guess this is the bit we've been talking about the EVIDA law for a couple of episodes now, and this is the best way to this is the best opportunity to have it from the horse's mouth.
Actually, these guys
the
help
description of the
lobby for it, no?
Yeah. Yun. So, sir, anong in your own words, what is the EVIDA law?
Okay, as a part of the technical committee of the EVIDA law, we provide some incentives and standards and regulations that is based for the electric vehicle industry. One is we put standards on what would be the categories and what would be the how can we come up with a good opportunity that it could be legally used by the consumers, and that it would help maintain a good opportunity for the consumers to be on top of what is the auto industry is all about, because at present globally electric vehicles are coming into place, and that we don't want to be lag behind by the others, and we would like to be at the forefront of it. Second is that we would like to address the government and private stakeholders partnership by bringing in programs and activities that would help support in terms of safety, in terms of regulations, in terms of what would be the benefits in using the electric vehicle.
Right now, one of the most the obvious benefits of having an e-vehicle right now are syempre yung incentives at number coding,
Yes.
the exemptions and everything. So, what other benefits do you see happening? Kaya,
Well, presently, the rollout of number of charging stations at place.
Yun.
You would see a lot of charging stations on the malls, and in the future, most of the gasoline stations would be there, and that the existence of the electric vehicle as a whole, supported by the government, wherein government agencies has to have of at least 5 to 10% of their fleet vehicles to be electric, and even so to the private sectors. So there would be a timeline for it from the short, mid-term, and long-term goals as to by 2040, electric vehicle will be used by the government sectors 100%.
so we're looking at public transport. We're
Yes,
looking
another
about-
thing is public transport. We have addressed that already, but it has already an existing program under LTO or DOTR, under PUB modernization program. But it has to address also the concerns of regulations, not only just by using electric trikes, that is very common, but more so that is being registered, that the driver should have a license on operating it as a public transportation.
You know what? I think what's going on with the small bikes that you see on the road na electric is they don't realize that when you're using a public thoroughfare, you also should have a certain amount of liability.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is why I've seen some videos on YouTube in the States na yung mga dirt bikes na walang plate number, they're not allowed on the roads because if something happens, they're not insured, they're not registered, then there's no liability, nagiging legal problem yun, di ba?
Yes.
And I don't think they've realized here that hindi lang siya laruan. It's not something na laruan tapos you use it to go to work. But if you figure in an accident, God forbid, who's gonna pay?
Right.
Diba?
And at the same time, the one who uses it doesn't have any license or any have traffic etiquettes or
Basic
know-how
knowledge.
on regulations on
So
using
basically-
on the road. So the safety of each and every Filipinos or individuals is at stake. So we have to address this concern as to somehow make it more regulated and make it more safer, especially for the small ones. Right now, the small bikes are being used as a transport going to schools, no?
Back and forth.
Shuttling back and forth. But the problem is the driver aware of making use of the road.
Road safety.
Like road safety in terms of turning left, turning right, staying in the inner route or the outer route. That's
You know what? I actually may nakakasabay ako coming out of where I live in Cainta. So we live in the same village at nakakasabay ko rin siya sa Ortigas Avenue. He works in Ortigas Center and he uses one of those three-wheeler electric bikes with I think a big lead acid battery. But wow, ang lakas na. I mean, I'd be scared, but it's a little bit frightening. But I mean, I have observed him and he stays on the bike lane. So at least he's not weaving in and out. But that's just that one guy. Yung iba hindi eh.
Yes. One of the key is educate the people on making use of it. And second is that we have to somehow take for instance, the local government units has to make a step on regulating those because at present the three-wheel segments are being controlled by the local government units, and that it has to address its concern as to its individual who's making using on the road, supposed to be on narrow roads lang or not on
Or
on,
secondary
highways,
streets,
no?
right?
The secondary routes.
Hello,
lang, no?
Marcos Highway.
Imagine that one, that you're going to ride on it, and imagine if you're not insured.
Yes. Yeah.
Anytime can happen if you're getting bumped by a truck or a certain jeep or whatever. That makes more sense enough for you to save a lot of people,
Yeah.
on the road.
It's not just the rider, it's also the people that can get involved in the accident.
Yes.
Mga pedestrians,
Yes.
just people just minding their own business.
So that's so all these electric vehicles, from the small two-wheelers to even the big commercial vehicles that are now being used by certain companies for delivering goods and stuff, are part of will benefit from the Evida law, right?
Yes, that's why I mentioned earlier that on fleet programs of government and private stakeholders, it should have of at least 5 to 10% that is electric.
And also the importation, no? There's also certain incentives.
Okay, on importation, actually that's another law that is under EO, Executive Order 12, under the amendment of tariff rates of most favored nations, wherein from 30% to 0 was applied, and that it is being for the four-wheel sector, but not on the Egypts that you're going to make an importation with. So what we are looking at is on in locally manufactured vehicles, especially on Egypts and e-trikes, is protected by this MFN rates, no? But not on importation of private vehicles, especially on four-wheel personal mobility use, no?
All right. Okay, that's clear. Later on, let's get into the exact vehicles that are
Yes,
exempt from coding, just
gonna get into
so we
that
can
in
get it
just a
from him exactly.
Yep.
Meanwhile, what do you have coming up? Ron?
Well, in the meantime, we're going to come up with, well, we got more music coming your way, of course. It's all about Fast Forward today. It's all about the 80s music playing for you. And this song right now is being brought to you by Stream Tech Business. Check this one out. A little something from Double from 1986. Fast Forward playing for you on the station plays all hits, all light. This is
103.5 K Light. Boss Edmund of EVAP, or the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, and we're going to get it from him now. Exactly what types of vehicles are exempt from coding under the new law? Ano yung hindi ka huli ng MMDA?
Okay, just this morning I was able to pass through this MMDA.
Oh, you're coding
because-
today ba?
Oh, I am coding right now. And then I'm using a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. And then that's one of the models that is exempted. A hybrid vehicle and a BEV, or battery electric vehicle. The one that is not considered is what you call mild hybrid,
Mild hybrid.
because under the EVIDA there's no description as to mild hybrid, in that anything that propels or uses to power the vehicle is considered an electric. So a mild hybrid doesn't power the vehicle, it only powers the
Certain systems in
certain
the car.
items or certain
Systems in the
Tsaka it
in
just
the car,
assists the internal combustion engine.
yes.
So it does not switch to EV mode.
No,
No.
it doesn't.
Okay, so for those of you who are tuned in,
So hindi counted yung mga naglalagay ka ng mga solar panel.
well, no naman. Well,
Hindi counted
basta
yun.
hindi counted yung hindi talaga hybrid electric vehicle.
Yeah.
So it has to be defined as an HEV.
So the one who's using a solar panel like golf cart can
Yeah.
be used off as a
Yeah. Hindi pwede yun. Hindi counted. Ayun. So basically, it has to power the vehicle. That's the important point to
Yes.
take away there. It has to power the vehicle. It has to make the vehicle move forward,
move forward
in order to be considered an electric.
electric.
Ayun.
or hybrid. Hybrids can do
hybrid.
that also. Yeah,
So
the
yun.
full hybrid.
Full hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid
Ayun.
electric vehicle. And the EVAP has an event coming up.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We would like to invite everybody, especially the listeners, to join us on October 19 to 21 at SMX Convention Center in Mall of Asia. That would be a 3-day event. So we're looking for conference, for a 2-day conference and exhibits of updates of our members and some of our participants who would showcase their electric vehicles, charging stations, and suppliers under the electric vehicle industry.
So essentially, yung mga electric vehicle manufacturers,
Yes.
distributors.
At present, it is co-presented by Nissan Motors and AC Motors.
Right.
So AC Motors who handles BYD and Kia Motors.
Is there a social media page or a web page that they can check out?
Oh, you can check us out on our EVAP website and also on our social page on FB, Facebook. And then it is for free. So
Free
you just have
entrance.
to register and it is open to all.
Ayan. Yun yung best,
So
best
yun,
part niyan.
we should test drive the Nissan Leaf, which is
okay.
a full electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle. AC Motors, Ayala's just gotten BYD, which is one of the biggest electric vehicle manufacturers in China. And well, they've also got Kia, which has the EV6, and they'll be bringing in more electric vehicles. So that's pretty exciting. And so even suppliers of yung mga charging infrastructure
Yes.
and
Suppliers from distributors of Tritium, Wallbox, Exicom, Delta, ABB. You would see them. Star Charge, you would see them there. And that some of surprising electric cars that is high end, no, available, and you would see it there. I heard they were going to launch it there during the event. So that is something to look forward to. And not only on the electric cars, but more so electric trucks. So utility trucks that are available from Dongfang, Diamond Motors, and then from Photon, and then the small cars from Jetour,
the ice cream.
the ice cream, yes.
So the other brands of small cars, will they be coming in also?
Well,
Alam ko sila
surprisingly,
Weltmeister,
they're
they've
coming.
also got a small electric vehicle, a small car, just like the ice cream.
There is another one, Fo, Fo,
Yes.
being carried by Evo Xterra.
Yes.
From who also handles Weltmeister and Hongqi.
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 Hongqi is ano eh. It's a derogatory for white
So,
man.
It's a wide
Let's
array.
not go there.
It's a wide array of vehicles.
Yes,
it's
gonna
From,
be so
from
interesting.
2-wheel, 3-wheel to 4-wheel. And then from trucks, utilities.
And you'll notice that a lot of these vehicles are China-made, and a lot of the technologies from China, because those guys have really
They've
gotten
stepped it up,
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Medyo-
the government there has decided na, hey, you know what, we're really polluted, and we need to cut back on our carbon emissions.
And then also, one of the showcases, the benefits of using electric and using solar panels while charging it. So Jaguar is being partnering with Solarius on that segment,
So
on how they set it up.
Solar-powered electric vehicle, so it's
Charger.
sort of self-charging?
Oh,
while
no.
you're on the road, or-
It's for charging purposes, especially if
okay.
you're at home. You need some setup, so you get more freebies, no?
Yun.
So that's how
Other
beneficially using an electric vehicle, no?
Yes.
You are not being charged by Meralco, you are charged by yourself, no?
Okay.
Para kang gumagante, no? Oh, ha?
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Ano?
yeah, we were talking about charging stations.
Yes.
Where do you see what's your target for charging stations at least? Kasi syempre dito sa Metro Manila, may mga
You can
nagsiset up
charge
na
at
ng
home,
mga-
di ba?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can even charge at home. But what are you looking for like 5 years ahead? 2
Okay,
years ahead?
at
with
present
regards-
there are about 330 charging stations, no, registered under Department of Energy. In that, most of the users naman, they charge it at home. But the way we see it, they are more advanced right now, because even without the rollout of the law, they were able to establish already in the malls, no, in the gasoline stations, in that there would be a lot of wide array of selections to choose from. Ang pinaka-importante ron is how to locate it, no?
yeah.
Because
Right.
users would have to plan ahead
Yes.
where can they charge after utilizing the vehicle, no?
Especially for long
And-
trips.
Yeah.
Pero
and-
ganun naman talaga eh, di ba? I mean, if you're gonna go on a road trip, you have to plan it naman.
Yes.
Eh. Di ba? Where we're gonna take our bathroom break, where we're gonna have lunch.
Yes, and that it's not only looking at the urban cities, no. We're looking at
Provincial.
provincial.
Yes.
Somewhere in the north, there were a lot of charging stations already in place, and that you could plan ahead going and enjoying your travel and your leisure time. And then
Pero yun talaga yung
find out-
first layer and right outside of Metro Manila.
Yes,
Yeah.
because at the moment, if we're going to make a comparison to other countries, short range lang naman talaga yung
e-vehicles.
natin, yung vehicles in particular. In that we're using it on a long route if we are going out of town, no? So that's where we consume more of the power supply that we need. So that is that we have to look at it. Accessible ba sila? You go south, if you go north.
At saka yung charging output, no?
Yes,
So,
another
you
is
know
on
how
the
long you have to
protocol
stop.
as to would it fit? Do I need adapters? Or if not, how can I charge?
30 minutes ba yung charge ko or 3 hours?
Yeah, and
Diba?
then there's another thing that we have to educate people. There is a difference between AC and DC chargers. On AC chargers, you would have to wait for hours. But if using DC, you would have to wait for minutes. So the difference between it is that, of course, DC motors, DC powered vehicles, short pero expensive yung setup nun. You need transformer and
Yeah.
heavy enough to provide power supply. But on AC, that is where you just have to plug it. But it would take you 4 hours.
Safe for sure. Yeah.
4 hours, no?
Yeah. Would it depend also on the battery, sir? Kung
Okay,
anong klaseng battery yung gagamitin?
at present, most of the units are now making use of lithium. Except for the smallest vehicles, like for the China brand, the small e-bikes.
Yeah,
e-bikes,
yun,
no?
mga lead acid ba
Lead
yung batteries
acid powered
nila?
yun eh.
Oo.
That is one thing that we want to address, that You buy a short or a cheaper ones and then expect a cheaper use of the vehicle. Like it would only last a year.
Mabilis lang.
Yes.
Pero kasi that market price talaga yung deciding factor for
Yes, cost conscious kasi mga
Yes.
Filipinos, no?
Yes.
And that they're looking at, it's better for me to make use of the gasoline. But we have to look at it on a long term, not on a short term.
Correct. All right. Well,
So yeah, again, before we close, it really does take the unified vision of both public and private sector to
Yes.
really make this work. Nakita naman natin during the pandemic, no, when everyone was at home, luminaw yung air, di ba?
Yes.
You could see further,
May
no
benefits
pollution. May
talaga.
benefits talaga. So maybe if we can just get a fraction of that, no,
Yes.
get that clean air.
Well, it's that's basically it's in everybody's hands. Our
Yes.
future's in our hands, so we have to make the right decisions, and definitely going ecological or electric is a way to basically.
Looks like a pretty good way to go. I mean, right now you can't expect everyone to jump in on it, but if you can get more and more people over a certain amount of time to adapt to electric or hybrid, then that's always
Baby
good
steps.
for yes, baby steps.
Baby steps, but as long as it's in the right direction. Yun
That's
yung
right.
importante.
And it's a good thing that EVAP's around to just nudge
Yes.
people in the
Thank you,
right
sir.
direction with those baby steps.
All right. Well, once again, thank you.
Thanks,
thank you very
Edmund.
much, Mr. Edmund Araga, the president of the Electric Vehicles Association of the Philippines, or EVAP. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Nice for having me here, and that I really enjoyed our conversation.
Ayan,
Good stuff.
We hope to have you again, sir.
Sure.
May gusto ka bang 80 song?
Oh,
One.
May request ka ba?
May request ka ba?
While
Pwede
you're
ba melt
thinking,
with you?
I'll yun.
Melt with you,
A
uy.
quick shout out to Joel of World Bex. All right.
Ayun.
So
Okay, hi to you.
with you, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Yan.
Well, that's about all the time that we have right
Hindi ko
now
panahon
for
yan, ah.
On Track. Yep. And thanks a lot for joining us. And of course, catch us again next week, next Wednesday. By the way, City will be performing tomorrow
Ooh, awesome.
on Spotlight. So watch out for that. You can join us here at Star Mall, second floor, Star Mall, for that performance if you want to watch it
Nice.
live.
That's
and
cool.
thanks a lot for having us once again.
Hey, one
Yep.
quick thing before we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so last night, Toyota celebrated their 35th anniversary, and the big boss of Toyota Motors announced that the Tamaraw is coming back.
More. We'll talk about that more in the next episode.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for having us. And of course, we're going to leave you with this one via request for Mr. Edmund Araga. Thank you very much, sir. A little something from the 80s, modern English. This one's from 1982. It's called I Melted You. Right here on
103.5 K Light.